God is calling His church, us, His people, to rise up and rebuild. But let us be clear, this is not about bricks and mortar. We are His temple. You and I, we are the living, breathing vessels of the Holy Spirit. Too much have we focused on the physical buildings, the outward appearances, while the temple of our hearts lies in ruins. Jesus reigns in our lives, and He is calling us back to the work He began in us. We must rebuild His temple, rebuild His church, and rebuild the foundations of our faith, brick by brick, stone by stone, heart by heart. It is time for us to rebuild His house into a house of prayer. Remember the words of Jesus in Matthew 21:13. My house shall be called a house of prayer. How many churches have fallen into the routine of programs and performances? The Lord is calling us back to the heart of prayer and true communion with God. To have an ear to hear what the Spirit is saying to His church in such a time as this is very crucial. The accuracy and precision of every decision we make in the ministry, family, business, workplace, and all we do is vital for His greater glory to manifest in our midst. Church, rise up! It is time to prioritize the presence of God over the plans of men. Charles Spurgeon once said, I would rather teach one man to pray than 10 men to preach. Work to make every Christian into a house of prayer and every church known to be a praying church. To rebuild His temple, we also must redeem the sanctity of His pulpit. 2 Timothy 2:15 reminds us to correctly handle the word of truth. The pulpit is not a platform for personal gain, political agendas, or personal opinions. It belongs to the Lord. Every word spoken must flow from the purity of His word, untainted, unpolluted, and unadulterated. Jesus reigns in His church, and He is calling every pastor, every preacher, and every teacher to restore the holiness of His pulpit. Lastly, we must restore the purity of every believer. Psalm 119:9 asked, how can a young person stay pure? By living according to your word. We must not only seek purity in the leaders of the church, but in the hearts of every believer. We are His temple. Our lives, our thoughts, our actions must be washed and cleansed by His word. 2 Chronicles 7:16 says, for I have chosen this temple and set it apart to be holy, a place where my name will be honored forever. I will always watch over it, for it is dear to my heart. This is our calling, to be holy as He is holy, to be set apart for His greater glory. Let us rebuild His temple with hearts on fire for prayer, pulpits restored to holiness, and lives purified by His word. The time